Hey, this is Jada again. I wanted to talk real quick on an alternate 3625. I've been studying this transcription, I guess you can say, or I've been working on the transcription of Glenn Gibson's "We Are Not Ashamed," that song by Karen Clark Sheard, and um, it's on. I'll put the YouTube clip in the links, and I'll also put Karen's original version, so you can hear that as well in the link. But he played it in the key of E, and there was a move towards the end of the first uh, the first key that he did it in. First key he did it in was E. There was a move towards the end of that first key that I wanted to look at today and kind of break down and talk about a little bit because it's something that is easy to put in. I haven't even worked on the whole song yet because I've gotten so much from the section that's in E. It starts out like this. Like there's multiple things from this section that I could be talking about, but I want to talk about this 3625 he did. Here's how the section starts though. That's kind of how the whole section of or how he started the whole song. So what he did near the end, he got through um playing that whole round of the song, and he did a 3625 as a cadential move, as a cadence right there at the end. Cadence meaning it's kind of setting up a halfway point or setting up a an ending point. So cadence would be going like a 2 to a 5. That would be that's your target chord is the 5. That would be a half cadence, but a 5 to a 1 would be a whole cadence, full cadence, um, perfect cadence, all those things. But he set up a cadential ending on the 3625. We know 5 takes us to our 1, which is our home base, especially if we're in E. So what he did, let me play the 3625 first in E. And it would look something like, first of all, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 1. Again, we're in E. So the 3 would be this. It says A flat on your screen, but since we're in E and the key of E has sharps in it, this would be a G sharp technically. And so we've got G sharp, and since it's the 3, it's minor. So we need this would be the minor chord, and then 6 is also minor. So this would be our minor chord, and then 2 is also minor, and then our 5 is major, and then our 1 is 5 is major or a dominant chord, and 1 is major because we're in a major key for this song. So what he did here, let me do that one more time. This is a 3, 6, 2, and then 5, and then 1. That's what a 3625 in the key of E sounds like. Now, what he did, first of all, let me go ahead and put my sevenths in to give that regular 3625. Okay, so 3, 6, then 2, 5, and then I'm gonna go ahead and put my 7, and then because this is pulling here like that. So I made that 5 a dominant. Now, what he did, I keep talking about it. I'm excited to get to it. Here we go. So for his 3625, he flipped this completely, and he took it like this. This is the whole move. That's how he did that whole section. Let me play it one more time, then I'll talk about it. And then he did, and then he changed his keys, but I'm gonna end it here. So one more time because I just love playing this. Oh, sorry. So that was a 3625. How do I know this is a 3 6 2 5? Well, honestly, I had to sit there and be I stopped the recording. I said, what is this? I know there's a function to this. So what the first thing that I did was look at what was happening. I was like, I thought it was a two because I was looking at this, but this is not my two. Again, I talked about in the number system video how our numbers have to have assigned function. So my two chord would look like this. There isn't a C in my two chord, um, not straight out. So I was like, well, what's happening with the whole chord? And then I kind of looked at the fact that he's playing this without a bass. So I was like, well, maybe it's D, because I see this tritone here, and that would be either the third of D and the seventh of D, but also it could be the A flat, because this would be the third, and this, or the A flat, or this would be the seventh in A flat. Well, when I looked at it in A flat, what do you know? That note is in our key, and it happens to be the three. We call it a G sharp because it's an E, but in harmonically speaking, A flat and G sharp are the exact same note. So when I'm looking at this as my bass, suddenly I'm seeing a three. And then, so I've got this covered. But then, and really this is the three, but I've made the three major. So he kind of like substituted. Um, First of all, he's suspended. Let's say it how it is. This is a suspended three, but then because these two notes are suspended, and then let me play the whole thing, and then I've got my major three because he kind of borrowed that chord while we're at it, but he's tonicizing because we know we can take something, and if we momentarily think of this chord as our one, even though it's the six, this is our five of this one. You see what I'm saying? That would be if this was our one, or even if, because it's a minor chord, even if our minor chord was our one, we're suddenly using a secondary dominant here, um, to tonicize this one, which is minor, but we're still in the key of E, so we're momentarily thinking this in its own key, even though it's in the global key. I'm going to call it the global key of E. The local key is C sharp. So I want to tonicize this C sharp. What did I do? I went to the five. He suspended his five. Then he made it dominant, and then he goes to his one. But he did it again. Now that we've gotten here, he immediately made this chord a secondary dominant and tonicized. And so we're momentarily thinking, well, this is our one now. And so this is really six and two in our global key. But right now, we're functioning this as a five. And this was the notes he played. Here's the notes he's playing. I put the bass in here with it. Well, let me put it down here. He played these notes. So this is my six chord, and he made it dominant. And in this case, it's a dominant flat nine. I've got my third, got my seven, and then I've also got my fifth in the chord, but I've got a flat nine. So this is a dominant C sharp flat nine chord. And then he went to the two finally. And this two is what's our chord called? It's an F sharp chord, but we've got our nine, we've got our sharp five, because that would be flat five or sharp four. So sharp 11. If I'm looking at, is this the four in this key? This is the four, so I'm sharping the four to get that note. I've got my 13 in here because my seventh is present. So this is sharp 11. That'll be a totally different lesson on how we can use those extended numbers. But sharp 11, we've got our 13, and then we've got a 9. So sharp 11, 9, 13. And that's the way he played it. But I also can do this, just giving the third and the seventh. This is the third and the seventh, and giving that same feel without the bass. So again, all these notes. That's the three suspended, three, six, and then two, substitute the tritone notes, either this one or this one would be the same, just a different harmony of it. And then we can go. This is really my four chord, 4, 5, 1. He did all that in a. He kind of extended that five by going 4, 5, 1. So let me play all that again. And I'm playing the notes, and then we're extending the five. Here's the five, and then back to the one. So take all of that, and he again. I played the 3, 6, 2, 5 with the notes that were in the bass, but the move itself that he used in the song, he after he finished the rest of the song, he just went straight to it like this, and you'll hear that when you listen to the whole clip. But so I like the move either way. Adding in my, if I had a bass player, they could be playing those notes. But even if I don't have one, I kind of like it just in that rootless form because it gives it a lot of color and feeling. And it's like, ooh, what's something different I could use to spice up things? So now that we've kind of identified that this is and how this is a 3, 6, 2, 5, we've identified that it's using two different secondary dominants, using a couple of local keys of um, C sharp and F sharp, thinking in those keys locally for one or two chords only each time. And then, so as you can see, you can branch the number system out unlimitlessly to reach the bounds of harmonization in different ways. So I want to take this a second and go through a couple of songs so you can see how to use this because we don't want to only use this in We Are Not Ashamed. Um, I want to be able to use this in other places. I don't have to play that song very often. So let me go ahead. Um, Let me choose. I'm looking at a list. I've made a list of songs that I should know in every key. And I'm just gonna pick something like "I Love You." I haven't really. I touched it a little bit, but let me touch it again. What do I want to do? That's my two. And then I'm gonna put it in right here for my ending. That's why my heart. I'm not a singer. Was filled with praise. So as you can see right there at the end, I stuck it in. I did a 3, 6, 2, 5 after. And then that's why my heart. So I got that in, and then let me see. Anointing. And I'm gonna. I don't play an E very just playing it, but really searching for where my 3 6 2 5 was in those instances. One of the times it was in the middle of the song. Both of the other times it was near the end of the song. And if you haven't heard uh, those songs, I will find the clips as well and stick them. I'm going to stick them right in the description box as well, so you can find those keys. I did this all in E so that you could see that move in its pure form, like he did. Like I said, there's a lot of meat in what he played, and I honestly, again, want to encourage people to really transcribe. And you can write it down. I didn't write any of this down. If transcribing on paper helps you, go ahead and write it down. But for me, I want to be able to have this stuff in my memory, not on some piece of paper that I might lose. I want to be able to have it accessible because as soon as I learn this move, I want to be able to use it. I don't want to think about, well, where can I? What was the move again? I want to be able to use it and then learn it in the other key. So I transcribed what he was doing, note for note, and that's why I only even learned one key so far. I don't even know the whole rest of the song. Still working through it because there's a lot of information. It's important that even when you're a functional musician, even when you're a proficient musician, you keep studying, you keep learning. You can't do everything instantly. You always should be learning. But me, one of my passions happens to be theory. I want to know what I'm doing when I'm playing. So once I learn something, I want to be able to put it in different places and different keys. Honestly, I think I've put that move maybe in. It was I learned it in E. I know I put it in D flat because I play in that key a lot. Let me see. So that was the move in and of itself. But when you transcribe, it shows you different things in keys that you already play in, shows you things in keys you haven't played in, or I shouldn't say haven't played in, but don't play a lot in. Some It's no secret that one key or two keys are stronger than the other ones. But if I didn't ever play an E, I wouldn't have been able to listen to that and learn it exactly. Like when I say exactly, spend time with that part. Don't, even if it's tough. There's a move in that first section that he does that does a technique that my hand wasn't strong enough to do initially, and so I'm spending time with the section. This is how you grow. Yes, you strengthen your ear um, through everything you do, but learn from everything that you do, and you'll grow by leaps and bounds faster than you could ever imagine. Especially when you put that in other keys. Um, like I just did. What did we just do? Anointing. Let me try that in D flat since I can do that move in D flat. And let me do those bass notes if anybody was looking at this for this key. Three, and that's the suspension. That was the regular three chord. Is that right? And then there's my six, and then here's my two, and the rest of the move. This is 4 5, both in first inversion. Did I do that right? Yeah, that's right. So if I do anointing, this is the key I play in a lot. You can hear you can hear the difference because I play in this often. Oh, I almost forgot the move. But as you see, you put it in different places. I learned something from that, and I need to put it in the other 10 keys. I think I've done maybe three. No, I probably just did the two of them, but I'm still working on the rest of them. That doesn't mean anybody else can't already be using this while I'm working it up. So again, this is a 3625 the way Glenn Gibson did it, and I encourage you to keep learning, keep practicing, learn as much theory as you can, and put it in your mind. Be able to speak the language as well as read. But I'm always going to emphasize that speak the language. Don't just read the language. Speak music. Happy practicing. Be blessed.